Having the moon in the ninth house. Well, actually, it's a positive position for the moon. Ninth house in astrology is considered the lucky house, the house of luck, the house of positivity, optimism, and moon is your emotional well-being, your emotional states. So such people tend to be more positive, have more faith in their life, have more meaning, deeper connection to something more meaningful, and especially to spirituality and religion. It doesn't have to be a traditional religion, it can be spirituality, but something which gives meaning, which gives purpose to their life is very important for them. The moon shows what you need, what your deepest needs are. And for people with moon in the ninth house, they have an emotional need of spirituality. They have an emotional need of philosophy, of something which explains the purpose of life, the meaning of why it's all happening together. The law of order, law and order is also the ninth house. On a more human level, ninth house is all the laws, all the order and rules and regulations, and everything that society deems good and worthy and right to do. So such people have a need to live according to those social moral roles, social morals rules. Ninth house is the house of morality, so they have a deep ingrained need to be good, to be moral, and on a spiritual level, it's this deep connection and emotional connection and attachment to their divinity of choice, to their philosophy of choice, to their even if you are agnostic and you don't believe in God on a higher meaning of life and purpose, then you're very likely to be very scientifically with great interest towards scientific information, because it will explain to you how the world fits together and give you you need to know the bigger picture and how things fit together from if you look at them from above, you know. But usually such people are very often attached to some spiritual, religious belief or philosophical belief system. Is very important for them. That's why probably a lot of you are watching the astrological video, because you're trying to find meaning, to see a pattern, to synthesize everything that makes sense, you know. As I said, ninth house is morality, emotional need for morality. Such people, if you see that someone has the moon in the ninth house and a lot of difficult things start happening in their life and they're feeling unhappy, they're feeling emotionally disbalanced, then you can help them by helping them right some wrongs in their life. If for instance they're lying, or if for instance they're cheating or doing something which is wrong, it will really affect their well-being, their emotional happiness. For some people with the moon in the 8th house, which is a secretive taboo house, doing all those wrong things will not harm them, so will not disbalance their moods. But people with the moon in the 9th house, it's so important for them that they're more straightforward, they're more honorable, they're more honest, that they live according to spiritual rules and moral rules, or at least society rules if you don't believe in spiritual things. They have also, moon is a female planet, and 9th house is your spiritual belief, so some people can be strongly drawn to female images of spirituality, which is Mother Mary in Christian religion, or Mary Magdalene, or the goddess Kali in Hinduism, or those female divinities or saints you can pray to. Actually, you will feel not only affinity, but you feel like your prayers are answered better when you're worshiping a female divinity. You can benefit much more from that. And it also makes you more of a philanthropist, more of a philosopher, as I said. It's just you have need for such high-minded interests, for such high-minded reads and educational and cultural stimulation around you. And also it's very likely that the mother, because the moon represents the major maternal figure in your life. Sometimes if you don't have a mother, it can even be the father who played the maternal figure, or a stepmother or a grandmother. But the major maternal figure is very likely to be also cultural, philosophical, very optimistic and high-minded person who believes, who sees always life, who looks at life philosophically, with more faith from the bigger picture. And the mother can also have a primary role in your life as a guardian, not as a guardian, but as the guide and guru in your life, because ninth house rules teachers. And it's very likely that the mother can be in the role of teacher, that you're consulting, that you look for her advice. She gives you good advice about life a lot. She ushers you towards education, towards more cultural and deeper philosophical matters, to more high-minded matters in your life. So the mother usually tends to be very good influence in the person's life, and very good advisor and a teacher. Sometimes even she can take the father figure. She can take the father role in the person of the life, because ninth house is a bit like the guru house, the teacher, the father, and the mother becomes this figure. Or it can be other female type of teachers that the person has, female, more women, their friends, their female friends become the teacher and the guru that comes to them with more spiritual advice, that comes to them with moral advice in moments of difficulties. They're there for them, to point them to the light, to direct them to the light. So female relatives and friends will be their blessing somehow in their life when you have the moon in the ninth house. There are always exceptions, of course. Sometimes, astrology is only 50-60%. There are always exceptions. So, but in the majority of cases, this is so. Ninth house is ninth house rules your grandchildren as well. So you feel emotionally attached a lot to your grandchildren once you have, and they'll be a great source of happiness in most cases, and they'll give you a sense of nurturing and grounding. You'll be very grounding and very nurturing towards your grandchildren as well, and very emotionally attached to your teachers, to your gurus. Not only school teachers, they can be those people that you consider teachers, that you consider inspirational figures in your life, or father figures, or teacher figures, so to speak. Yes, so women will be female teachers, spiritual helpers, advisors. Let me just see if I'm missing something. Yeah, I think we said it, most of it. And also ninth house rules foreign cultures, and the moon is the place of living. So a lot of people might feel very much at home in foreign countries if they have the moon in some way connected to the ninth house cusp, or the ninth house, it's not always that they become expatriates, but they can have a lot of travels abroad to different countries. They can have homes in different countries, it's one of the situations which means that foreign countries and foreign travel is possible for you. It will be part of your life, or at least a lot of interactions with foreigners. I think that's for now. Higher education as well. These people feel very natural in the sphere of higher education, universities, in such intellectual and high-minded places where the places of mind expansion, of expanding of the horizon, of the expanding of the understanding of the world. They'll have an emotional need for such places and such stimulations and such entertainments even, the more cultural, the more high-minded one. So if you have a partner with the moon in the ninth house, take him to a lecture. Take him on a spiritual adventure, or take him traveling. They love that. They soak up foreign cultures. The moon is where you're very receptive to those things, and you're very impressionable. So they'll soak up a lot of things from foreign cultures. Let's hope positive things. So thank you, and please share with us what you identify with, and if you have any other observations about the moon in the ninth house.